That looks like guards.
As you head in, the various ungulates sort of cast a glance at you.
So,
These two.
Percept them.
You're right ahead.
I mean, I've got my passive 18 going, so.
Yes, but to actively know what people are saying, you have to make a check. The passive alerts you up to any mischief that's going on. Although you can tell that they are definitely whispering to each other.
If they're whispering, then yeah, I'm rolling this.
Good job.
Norm 17.
Yeah, it appears that they're, as you guys sort of walk by, sort of glance at you and lower their voices just a little bit. You can tell what they're talking to each other about isn't strictly speaking legal. The exact topic is lost. Like, you can't quite hear exactly what they're talking about, but everything else about their mannerisms, the way they're talking to each other, yeah, something going on here that isn't the authorities wouldn't have. This one over here, do that, is looking towards them, almost not longingly, but kind of like wishing to be part of what was going on.
So, does anyone here look like beggars, by the way?
Come again?
Does anyone here look,
like a beggar?
Yeah, or impoverished?
Yep, since you're here, since you mentioned it, say this one looks impoverished. This one over here looks impoverished.
Oh, which one?
This one?
These two.
And
those two? Okay.
This guy over here as well.
Okay.
More impoverished than average.
Yes. I mean, none of these people look to be doing exceptionally well. There's no question about that. But those are the ones who, if wearing clothes was the norm, they'd be in tatters. But, their coats are very poorly kept. They're a bit malnourished.
So, do they look hungry?
Some ribs might be showing.
This one here was gazing very longingly at the foodstuffs that was right here.
Go over to him and give him my second gourd.
As the two of you approach, like him specifically, he looks up and there's a bit of cautious hope. There we go, in his eyes. Any loose change? Some coppers, maybe, please?
I give him
Corvine's
I give him the gourd, you give him the gold.
Oh.
Corvine's gonna give him
Prophet bless you.
40 gold.
His eyes bulge as you hand over that money, and he looks around almost afraid. Are you sure, miss?
Yes.
Why wouldn't you want money?
Well, it's just... it's a lot, that's all.
Get yourself back on your hoofs. Don't mind.
I can't take that much. Maybe 5.
No. Take it.
Would he be dumb enough to say this?
It's always a good question to ask yourself.
I'm gonna go with it, guys. I'm sorry for starting conflict.
Oh no.
I sent this guy a message saying, "Don't worry, she's rich."
He sort of like looks around a bit confused.
Does he notice the golden pin that's holding her cloak together?
I mean, he looked at it longingly. Anything that looks nice, his eyes sort of fixate onto for a brief moment, or he sort of dismisses the idea. But after sending a message, he looks around confused, obviously not quite sure what just happened, and shakes his head. Well, if you're sure, he looks around. don't tell no one about this, okay? If they know, they'll take it from me. He nods vigorously.
Wouldn't think of it.
All right.
And with that, he we'll say he's in tatters, and he sort of stuffs the gold on his tatters and starts whispering non-conspicuously as he just sort of meanders his way, sort of turns and nods towards Amber, and then keeps on going.
Amber's leading from the back.
Yeah, I saw that.
You said this guy also looks like he's in tatters, right?
Correct.
Okay. Corvine's also going?
As you approach him, he looks up. He looks up and smiles at you. Oh, the wildflowers are in bloom.
I'm sorry, what?
The wildflowers are in bloom.
Oh my.
Oh, where?
Well, on the moon, of course.
The moon.
Yes.
Da-da-da-da,
See, right over
da-da-da.
there. Don't you see them? He points up at the celestial sphere in the sky. I assume Foenum only has one.
Foenum actually has 1 million votes.
It's actually it's not stars. It's actually moon.
No, there's just so many that you can't actually see the sky. There's just moons. It's the moon in the sky. Yes.
It's just this orb in space that's surrounded by a shell of. Essentially, it's a Dyson sphere built of moon.
Anyway, so
Basically.
she's also going to pull out 40 gold, and when she hands it to him, she's gonna say, "Get help."
She looks down. He looks down at the gold, sort of confused. I'm not hungry.
This is.
Give him a gourd and tell him to get help.
You stay here for now.
Okay. He turns around and looks down into the channel of water that's running. He's currently singing to himself what appears to be some sort of song about pixies.
Those don't exist.
Until proven otherwise.
Wahahaha.
Oh no.
Besides, he's clearly a bit nuts.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, he thinks bipeds are real.
What's that?
So did I know those two? These two were whispering, but I don't know what or.
8. 8 tells you they definitely have a conversation to each other. Give me an insight.
Oh, good.
That's good enough. You can tell that they're sort of intentionally out of the main eye of what's going on. Like they're not exactly hiding in the bushes, but it's clear they're trying to keep their conversation from being over.
I send a message to Sae saying, "Did you hear what they said?" Those two.
She sends one back. Not quite.
Corvine, we'll get to you in just a hot second. Bygong, what are you doing during all this?
He's carrying on with the plan to go deeper into the burrows for now.
And so is he
Keeping
just
an eye out for ambushes?
chilling there waiting for his party to get back together, or is he just heading in anyway?
He probably doesn't notice that they're not following him.
So I was keeping an eye on him.
Well, he's heading in.
And she is now sending him a message. Yes, back. Yeah.
It appears Dandy's right behind you. Sai is over there, and Amber's still on the bridge, and Corvine's nowhere to be seen.
He responds to the message. Why aren't we continuing?
Apparently, they are missing a couple.
His only response to that is a groan.
That said, Corvine, you arrive over here and you see what appears to be a woman currently just sitting there in a bit of despair. You know, it's you're in a big city. You've seen it before. You know, there's homeless people. They just sort of sit there and mind their own business, and they're tattered, sitting there on cars, their tattered possessions around them. Well, they've sort of given up in a sense. They recognize there's nothing that can change their life. So she's just sort of sitting there, wrapped in a dirty piece of cloth. And you're not sure. As you approach, you even notice a couple of small sleeping children near her.
Oh. Hello, miss?
She sort of flinches just a little bit and looks up at you. Yes? What?
Do you need any help?
No. She looks down sadly.
But are you sure?
Looks up again. Unless you can be some sort of job.
What did you say?
You're cutting out a
Sorry,
ton.
you're cutting out a little bit, and you're really, really quiet.
I am sorry. I was in character, as it were.
Yeah.
I can't do much about the cutting out.
Cutting out is in
Maybe
character.
go closer to the microphone when you're whispering.
How does this sound? Is this better?
Yes, this sounds much better.
Because my mouth is right in front of the microphone.
But yes.
Anyways, unless you can offer a home, a job, I'm afraid there isn't much you can do.
So how expensive is a home in Rain?
Depends on where you live. Here, it wouldn't be very much, comparatively speaking.
What? I need an actual price.
Actual numbers?
Yes,
Or just an order of magnitude, perhaps.
basically.
Give me a second to figure this. Think things out.
'Cause
So I think according to
I know
5e,
gold is a lot, so
I think typical there's a D&D economy. I think is like I can't remember if peasants get a gold a year or gold a month.
I think the last time you tried to guess, you were way lowballing it.
Yeah.
I do want to note that most of Rain is pretty much ice, so
Well, the real estate.
that might
doesn't
just
care.
lower the cost of materials.
Nah, real estate don't care.
yeah,
Shut
real
up.
estate cares more about
Location.
yeah, basically.
I mean, you're right about the building materials. I'm not questioning that. It's just unfortunately the nature of the people who own the land.
Yeah, it's the capital, so owning any real estate is probably not cheap.
I know this country is what I said, but for the purposes of for the moment, until I can find otherwise, we'll say that a gold piece a month is normal for a farmer.
Okay.
And so that would mean, let's see, 12 gold pieces a year, save up for about 5 to 7 years for a home. So for a house here in the boroughs, we're looking about maybe 50 gold pieces for a small home.
Okay.
Crazy.
So
And maybe I shouldn't mention the thing I found where somebody estimated about 9,000.
Well, that's still like we're talking like
yeah, but 9,000.
we're talking about to buy, like I say, the equivalent of a studio apartment in the slum.
Fair.
Like this is we'll say the actual cost of a proper home in like say over by the waterfront, which is more middle class type people live anyways, is probably in the order of maybe 1,000.
Oh, never mind. The answer I found has a whole bunch of down votes.
That
So ignore
sounds
me.
and feels about right to me. So we'll say like quote unquote middle class as such exists in this sort of time frame would be roughly about 1,000 gold pieces.
Okay.
And this
you
is of
think
course to
adventurers-
purchase. This is to purchase the home.
Why do you think
Yeah.
adventurers don't have permanent homes usually?
Because they make more money by being travelers.
There.
And somehow transport several thousand gold pieces on their persons without any problem.
Well, to be fair, there's actually weight for that. Just most people ignore it.
Yeah, I know. I'm basically poking fun of that. You know, because gold takes up space and weight. You can only carry so much.
Yes, it does actually by the rules. Just most people ignore that because you don't want to track every single copper you get.
It would be a little obnoxious, yes. But we digress. So,
Okay.
yeah. So we'll say in a middle of the road, a nice. And we'll say for the purposes of here, that would be what? One story with probably 4 rooms. Anybody here? Anyone here a medieval historian?
No, we killed him.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah, we did kill him.
Well, I am a historian.
Well, I'm talking about like IRL.
Oh,
'Cause I'm
no,
trying to figure.
we
I'm
killed
trying to
them.
figure out. I'm trying to figure out what a middle class. Not that the middle class existed in the Middle Ages, but I'm trying to figure out what a good. I'm trying to
Well,
figure out
they
if it'd be like
did
a 2
exist.
story
They
or
were
one
just
story
almost
thing.
exclusively merchants.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
pretty
true.
much.
Um.
So
Anyway,
they were adventurers.
We'll
So-
say 1,000 gold pieces will purchase you a 2-story home.
okay.
Probably like 2-3 rooms at the top, and the bottom would just being in an open space.
Are these your children?
And she looks over and nods.
I. You said you needed a job, right?
She looks up at you.
Money?
If you happen to know of anything.
I can't guarantee the job, but I'll give you enough money to get up on your feet.
Give me an insight real quick.
Okay.
Well then.
Well,
Okay.
she can see
Oh,
What'd you
everything.
ask for?
Let me think of how you know this information about give you. Whether you've just discerned it all, if you've come across it before. You know what? When you're being taught, you are always told to avoid the burrows because not only is it like a dangerous place, but a lot of times people will become trapped there. Like you'll suck them in and they can't leave, kind of thing. But I suspect you didn't go to the burrows much when you were young. I mean, if you did,
I didn't go anywhere when I was young.
yeah, fair point. But what you're seeing, you realize, is that in action. Looking at this poor doe's face, you realize that all hope has been sucked from her. She's in her position because the burrows have basically beaten her and has driven her to this point. You can see that she wants to have hope, but it has been since robbed from her. In fact, you can probably guess that any magnitude of hope that she gets, and judging from what the guy said earlier, is taken from her by someone else. So at this point, she just lives because she's not dead yet.
Yeah.
And when she looks at her children, there's more a look of deep sadness than anything else.
Mhm.
More of a deep sadness for them. Probably because she thinks that they will be living the exact same life I live. So what you're looking at is someone who has basically been broken by this world or by the birds.
Yeah.
So she wants to believe, but her experiences taught her that essentially you're trying to do something. You're trying to run a racket or something, or there's some ill intent involved in your motives. And suffice to say, yes, she does want a better life. She wants a good life for her kids and herself. She just believes it's impossible.
Uh-huh. You know what? Huh. I could get you that job. I'm a Winterblood. I'll pull some strings. Maybe get you working in the shipyard.
Give me a persuasion with advantage, please.
Well,
I don't think you needed to roll that last one.
22.
All right. She looks up and are you talking about like Winterblood? I think I've heard of them. Think. What, do you own a shipyard or something?
Not personally, but the family does.
I've never tried dock work. But a job is a job.
Um, if you keep around this area, I'll come back and we'll all get out of here.
She looks up at you. She really wants to believe you, and the small kind of does. I don't really have anywhere else to go. I guess I'll stay around here. See you if you're serious.
Good. Here, as collateral, she hands over one of the gems.
Oh my.
One of the what?
The
The gems.
nose gems.
Yes.
You have gems?
We each have
Yeah, we each have 2. They're worth 100 gold each.
Well, okay then.
Yeah, we ripped them out of the cloak.
Oh yeah, okay. That's what you said. Nose. I thought you said nose, as in like someone's nose.
Yeah,
Like
we
he's
have
ripping
nose
out someone's
gems.
Tengu campaign when?
But we
Well,
have 2 each, so that we can put them in each nostril.
Well,
nose
like
gems.
I thought at some point like there was you came across a statue that had like a gem encrusted nose.
Yeah, that's what
No.
he's saying.
I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know this event happening.
They
Put
stole
each in
theirs
each
from
nostril, so we have 4 of them.
They stole theirs from the first ruins. I stole mine from the second one.
Like that.
Anyways, she looks down at it, rather baffled, and she takes it and rolls it around in her hooves. And it seems that hope is, in a small measure, is coming to her. And she looks up. Who are you?
Corvine. Who are you?
She stashes the gem. Oh. Second. I gotta figure out how to say this name real quick. Oh, that's easy. My name is Cecilia.
Pleasure to meet you, Cecilia. I should regroup with my friends. We're sort of having crime troubles that we're trying to sort out.
Well, what kind of problems?
As I said, crime ones. Something about some Grom.
Her eyes grow big, and so she suddenly like shivers. You don't mean the Sisters Grom, do you?
Would you be worried if I said yes?
I feel very sorry for you. I don't know what dealings you have with. It won't end well. They're bad. They're bad, bad, bad. Bad.
That's why someone needs to stand up to them. Because they are bad.
Well, she looks back and forth. They're trying to run everything. If it was up to them, the whole city would be under their hoof. And they'll do anything it takes to do it.
So if they captured a noble, what do you think they would do?
She suddenly, when you say that, she reacts and sort of looks to the side a little bit and pierces her lips and looks down. Looks from side to side a little bit. I don't know nothing. I don't know anything.
Please, it's important.
She looks up and looks from side to side nervously, and then like gestures for you to get really close.
Okay, Corvine does. Well, hold on. Before she does, percept.
Anything in particular you're looking for?
Eavesdroppers.
Fair enough.
Very much.
You don't see any in particular.
In particular, except for that one guy.
And that one guy right there who's sitting on the roof staring down at you with a huge horn coming out of it towards you. What's all this, Dad? No, you don't see anyone in particular. Admittedly, it is a bit dark, or it's dark, so it's not exactly well lit over here. But you don't see or detect anybody.
Okay. Well, then I do lean in.
Didn't hear this from me, but to talk to Lars.
But what?
Lars. You want to talk to Lars.
Where?
Does anybody know how to do those fancy like double A's above a letter?
Yes, copy and paste it from a wiki page.
Because that's
that's
how
what I
it's,
do.
Or type on your phone.
Well, it's technically spelled this, but it's said like that, Lars.
There are a couple different ways besides that, but it requires setting up.
Lars.
But it's Lars. Lars. You didn't hear it from me.
Where?
You'll find him. She nods.
Okay. So she's not gonna tell me where he is? Just to find him?
Yeah, then it appears I mean that's what she said.
Okay. She nods her head. Okay. And runs back over. Uh, stay safe. And runs around the corner.
All right. So, quick question: these interactions have been taking quite a while. So I want to ask the group: what have you guys been doing while Corvine's been running off and doing?
Oh, I catch her. For
So
one.
you, right? Yes, because you
Oh,
were
you were
buying.
at the.
Yeah, I
fruit
was
stand.
buying more gourds.
Do you want to make a persuasion check, or you want to just spend straight money?
Spend straight money.
They charge you a gold piece for 2 gourds.
Okay, that's fine. I give it. Then I run into Corbine. It's like, I was supposed to find you.
Sai has her hands full, keeping Bai Guang from
Sorry
moving
for
forward.
taking so long.
Don't worry about it. Find anything? He messages again. Did you find anything?
She nods.
You can respond privately if you like.
Oh, that's right. You can respond a message with another message without
Yeah.
even having the spell.
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
one free response.
Okay.
Let's walk. Do this as walk as we talk.
We need to find someone named Lush.
I see.
By the way, before they get here, I'd like to note Sai's been trying to figure out what these two have been talking about.
All right, give me 2 perception checks, please.
But message, you can't listen in.
No, not you two.
Oh, those two. Okay.
Yes. Give me 2 perception checks. This isn't 1 perception check with advantage. This is 2 separate perception checks.
I was just making sure.
Zero style.
Okay.
Yeah,
I-
zero.
Just
style.
like zero style, I'm just gonna
It's
roll
lame.
same thing every time.
Well, typically I'll have use multiple checks to determine how successful you are for a period of time. Since I figure a single skill check usually refers to like a brief moment, quick action. This is a gauge of like how successful in overhearing the conversation, which you were pretty darn successful of. It appears they're currently talking about a few different things. One is talking about someone who's has some of the good stuff, where to get it. As the conversation shifts to some of the crime, sharing information you kind of already knew anyways, and that they're technically a little bit wrong about. But you do discover a useful piece of information. You discover that they say something that the Sisters Grom is up to something big, and they've been acting a little strange as. A rumor even has it that they've been talking to the nobles themselves, which is absurd. The one doesn't believe it. The other one's like, "I'm telling you, it's true."
Well, I
Simply
mean, we know
because-
it's true.
Simply because the concept of anybody working with the Sisters Grom is absurd, let alone one of the noble houses, or more, or multiple of them for that matter. And that as a result, the Sisters Grom, at least a little while ago, a few days ago or something like that, it was a little strange. They weren't to their usual activities for a couple of days, and now they're still doing what they're doing. That is, making the world a worse place. But they're like, instead of operating at 100%, they're like operating at like 80, 90%. But beyond that, most of what they say is they start speculating as to what possibly. And you can tell at that point it's just them either inventing wild tales or sharing wild tales. Like, you sincerely doubt that the Sisters Grom are planning on poisoning the water supply, or that they're going to, ascend to noblehood themselves, or, find some way of importing millions of bunny rabbits just to eat all the vegetation.
I don't know. 2 of those 3 sound actually believable.
Somebody's poisoned the water hole.
Obviously, they're gonna poison the water supply and eat all the vegetation.
and put snakes in everybody's boots.
Oh yes, okay. So the only weird one is the fact that they think they're going to become
So
clearly.
that is one thing you get from the conversation. You also get that they keep looking at you guys weird, and they're trying their best to not be overheard. They're succeeding, of course, but they're trying.
Failing.
they have a
Failing
plan to
miserably.
put chemicals in the water that makes them frogs.
Yes, they're chemicals in the water that are going to cause everybody to become frogs,
Dandy.
This is a good apocalypse.
and there'll be rainbows everywhere. It'll be fabulous.
Fabulous.
And then all the noble families will die out because they won't have any kids, and then we'll be the only rulers.
Well, that's one way of going about it, I suppose.
That's where we need to have kids.
I mean, if you're the only survivors left in Rain, congratulations, you are now in charge of Rain. All right, and then
The rest of that, she's been just watching Baiguang.
and Baiguang, doing? Have you just been standing there like angrily stomping on the ground?
No, he's been moving forward and getting pulled back.
But
But otherwise, yes.
Size had to pull him back.
Fair enough.
Twice that we witnessed.
Well, then it's during the second pullback, we'll say, is when you notice Irvine and Dandy have come around. And I believe I interrupted your guys' conversation. Did I not?
Finished, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, then.
Either way, Sally would have stopped both of them to tell them what she just learned in a message to each of them.
And Pizza, you're back, correct?
Apparently, I moved her. I was just trying to ping.
So this message goes to... Well, actually, does she know where Amber is? Yes, she does. So she sends this message to everyone one by one. And it's the exact same message.
Okay.
I overheard, and apparently there are two things. One,
Real quick, Midnight, sorry. I just wanted to ask, is Amber doing anything in particular during all this? Was she, like, anything special she was up to? Like, chatting to someone, picking pockets, looking around, etc., so on and so forth.
Playing solitaire.
Yes. All right, sorry, Midnight, go on. Sorry, interrupting.
one. There was a disturbing fact that came up. Okay, actually, I forgot the first one. You were going through so many pointless things that I had to filter through. I remember the last one, but not the first.
Well, you only really got one major tidbit of information, and that is that the Sisters Grom were up to something. They were acting a little strange that a couple days ago they sort of did something. Oh, right. And
Yeah,
and there was rumor
two
that apparently
things.
they were talking to the noble. They were talking to the nobles.
Okay. So, a couple days ago, the sisters apparently started acting strange. Well, according to them, and might be up to something. And the second might be a bit worse than this. They've been in touch with the houses. And this is all I know. And from here, I'm going to take that one response from message from each person. If you're going to send a message back.
Corbin has something to say.
forget what was his name. Sorry.
Larsh.
Larsh. Sure. Yeah.
Gorge.
We need to find someone named Larsh who knows something about the Grom sisters.
And this was out loud.
No, this was the message. You said I got one, so that's the one.
Sai only nods. And actually thinks about it for a moment. She messages Corvine. Should we tell Baglam?
I had a funny thing, but I can't hear.
Up to you.
She messages everyone with Corvine's discovery. One by one.
Don't skip me. I told you I knew this.
Well, she doesn't know that you knew this.
Well, don't you know that I know that you know?
Calm down, Don Knotts.
Plus, now you can say your funny thing that you said that you got.
Oh my.
No,
Amber's
it doesn't. It was a response of should we tell Bygong about this? I was gonna respond with would he listen?
An honest to goodness thief is buying it.
You've been tricked.
They're all dead anyway.
You've been dead.
Oh my god.
Sorry, not sorry. I am so bamboozled.
And then she leaves the money on the table anyway.
OC is the bamboozled Celtic Guardian.
That's the rogue I want to make. Is one that actually pays for things. It's such a shy person that they steal things and then pay for them because they don't want to talk to someone to exchange.
Relatable.
So because I'm terrible at multitasking, what's been going on while Amber is...
Sai acted as relay for information that everyone gained. That's what happened.
Yeah, basically. The one about Larsh and the thing that Midnight learned.
Yeah.
About
Since
them,
it was through message, everyone knows it, but no one overheard it.
About them poisoning the water supply. No, actually, you didn't talk about that, did you?
Actually, I'm gonna be honest.
No.
I was distracted by the stuff with OC and pizza, so I missed what Sai was messaging.
It was just reiterating what everyone learned.
If
I
I'm
mean,
not mistaken, everyone is more or less catching everyone up with what has been revealed thus far, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I missed-
what Sai learned and what Corvine learned.
I missed what Sai learned. I know what Corvine learned.
Sai learned that the Sisters Grom have been up to something the past couple of days, and that they have been in contact with they might have been in contact with
Noble families.
the houses lately,
Gotcha.
and that's plural right there.
Oh my. One. We know of one at the very minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Potentially, it could be blown up to plural, and it's actually just the one, but
No,
we don't know for sure.
She heard it in plural.
Yes, she heard it in plural from people who can't keep their information right. So there's a potential.
Ah,
You're not me. You can't guess. You can't guess what your number's gonna be.
shame. That would have been 3 in a row. That's why her wallet explodes on that third one.
Clearly, there should be a ritual that you just throw money into a pile and you bet on the number that you roll, and it doubles if you get it.
Wow, pizza! Wow!
It was not me this time.
I mean, Amber is free to act the way she is. She's not necessarily free. Okay, well, congratulations. The shopkeeper does not catch on, and somehow you steal this back.
She's preserving.
Oh god. Yes, I saw that.
I mean, you managed to catch most of this exchange out of the corner of your eye, but yeah. So essentially, Amber managed to find a swindler, like just a straight up swindler who's selling like trinkets, and managed to nick 2 things that she quote unquote bought, and then the one she sold. So,
And then changed her mind.
partially.
She half changed her mind.
Right, and then
Nice.
pretty much you managed to do. In the dagger, you're convinced has magical powers. He didn't specify what it could do, just that it's magical.
It turns out it's actually the only thing that can kill the devourer.
And
I mean, to be fair, the salesman probably still came out on top because he got 5 gold.
well, if
And
okay,
only lost 5 silver and a wooden dagger.
to clarify, Pizza, he said he would sell the dagger for 5 gold. Did you pay him or did you steal the dagger? If I'm understanding
She
correctly,
stole the dagger.
you stole the dagger but didn't actually pay him. Is that correct? Okay.
Okay. I thought she bought it, and I was just confusing things by saying that she stole
Nah,
it.
it was confused because there was some confusion on whether she was buying it or not.
Basically, Pizza got a magic dagger and 5 silver.
Yes.
A magical wooden dagger. Oh, and on top of that, by the time you basically hear this information and caught up to the group as well, specifically that the crime syndicate you're all interested in has been up to some strange things late, and apparently they've been talking to the noble houses. And you gotta find some guy named Larsh. Anyways, so we'll go ahead and pick up with the group basically having shared this information amongst each other. So the question is, now that you all know this, where do you go? What do you do next? You could always, question one of these fine individuals around. You dive headfirst into the deeper burrows. Whichevs. You could burn these houses down, although you wouldn't get much mileage out of this one.
I'm gonna teleport all the way to this guy.
Technically speaking, you don't know he's there.
Okay, that's why I said I was
You've
doing
never
it.
been there.
Teleport to Vesper's house.
All right, we're teleporting to Vesper's house.
Okay, let's go.
Vesper's
Yeah.
house story.
Let me
Then
load the map.
teleportation.
Does
Let me
Vesper know
load the
find
map for
person?
Vesper's house.
Okay.
We need Vesper to cast Find Person for us.
Mhm. Okay, can we move on now? Seriously?
Yeah, we
Yes,
need
that's-
Vesper to cast Detect Thought.
And that's what I was asking the group is what are you guys
Oh,
heading to
wow.
next? What are you guys doing next?
Let's see, what spells do I have for this?
I have a staff for this.
I have a spell for this, yes. And I had it prepared just in case. Hmm.
I was gonna believe it or not, I was going to try to solve this situation with message.
It's that spell's getting a lot of good use.
I was planning on hiding behind someone and then pointing through them to cast message, and then like seeing what would happen.
Interesting.
Clearly, you
Sorry.
just need to pull up rocks and message to people and make them think they're hearing voices
Yeah.
and get them to
Well.
break down and admit everything.
Say, so you're casting a spell?
Thinking about it. Thing is, if I fail to cast this, things are gonna go wrong really, really quickly. So
It's okay, I got this.
Oh dear.
You have a backup enchanter.
Would it go worse than if Baiguang cast Command and told people to talk?
Would it be worse if Danny cast command and forced people to talk?
it would be the same.
Well then.
It would be casting Charm Person and pretty much getting them on our side.
It's okay, I can also do that.
Yeah, I
I
know.
cannot.
Well, that sounds like a good idea. If you are, who are you planning on casting it on? Anyone on this particular map or deeper in those?
You know what? No one on this map. It's I only really heard two vague rumors like those
Give me back my family.
between two people that actually trust each other in whatever form of trust they have, any.
Wait, are you trying to say that our group doesn't trust each other?
No, these two.
Oh, these two.
Yes, if I understand correctly, he's
Or
saying
that guy.
he's waiting to find two people who aren't like acquaintances, but they're actually like
Wait,
tight with each other and share information that's accurate versus, you know.
shoot, something we forgot.
Hmm?
That guy.
He's standing there.
That guy?
Everybody turn around and corner him.
I'm here, let's go.
All right, so
Here,
are you guys,
Baiguang, you can squeeze into the bottom.
are you guys actually surrounding him?
No.
Uh,
No. But I'm not moving my piece.
I actually is gonna be there though.
So a couple of you are actually getting close to the guy though, right?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. As you approach him, he looks at the two. He looks at. I'm guessing it sounds like there's two of you approaching him.
Yes.
It
Alright.
might be.
Oh, I'm approaching. Yes, I am approaching him.
All right,
Three.
Okay.
three of you then. And is
And Ember.
Is Amber also approaching fellow?
Baiguang looks on curiously. Saihong pokes her head out from under the flap.
We need Vesper here. He needs to come on with we need a whole crowd around her.
Wait, I got this.
Corvine, call out the owl. Science.
Oh no!
Science.
Oh no! It's no!
The science cell? I'll have the science cell.
Well, guys, I think we have our new encounter. Time to roll initiative.
Fight the ghost of your dead friend.
Ooh.
10 of him.
Oh yeah, I forgot to call out the L. That's a thing I should have done.
Oh yeah. We need both the ice sprites out too. He's surrounding him. They're surrounding him too.
Serica and Snowflake.
Mhm.
As you guys approach,
Oh, and we called Washington here. We'll drive a carriage in front of him too.